Hey, what's up guys? This is 3D Bonfire back with an amazing tutorial, and this time we talk about soft bodies again. So I already did several lessons on this topic on my Patreon, but hey, there is still so much stuff to learn. So you can see this technique, oh man, it's pretty simple. So these balls, these little bad boys, they are trapped inside this frame and they want to escape here. So you can see this one, oh, he just wants his freedom. Okay, beautiful. Here's another example. This is more about the lighting and the materials. It's just a variation. I also like it. And here is one that is more black and white. And you can see the principle is always the same. They are trapped inside the frame in a cage, and I will show you how to do it. So let's get started in Cinema 4D. Alright guys, one last thing before we start. So if you even need more of the good stuff, I can provide this on Patreon. So 3D Bonfire is also there, and there you will get bonus and extra tutorials, assets, textures, everything that I do on a daily basis as 3D artist. Alright guys, also be sure to ring the bell and subscribe to my 3D Bonfire YouTube channel. That would be just an amazing support, and also you will always be up to date with my latest training and tutorials. Alright guys, let's get started. And one last hint before we go. So in part 1 we only talk about the soft body dynamics inside this inner frame, making all of this one beautiful, but all of the scene styling with these additional elements, the lighting and the texture part, this will be additional in part 2. Alright, let's continue. Alright, so I need to remember how I did it. It's already a couple of weeks ago, maybe 1 month. Let me just see. Maybe we just built a cage here. So I will put it to 400 by 400 by 400. That seems to be fine. Okay. Let me just quickly put this one into an atom array. Hold down Alt and put it inside of it. Now I just make this really thin. Okay. That looks good. Put it up just 200 so it is on the floor. I just put this one also up 200, and I think this one, oh sorry, this one will be our collider object. So I just right click on it, go to simulation tags and give it a collider body. And to have good collisions from the inside, so the normals here, they look outside, but we want to have collisions at the inside. Therefore it is preferable, or I just say you have to do it, put it to static mesh and you have clean collisions here. So this is already set up. We don't need to see this one. We want to look inside of it. Maybe I already put a plane beneath it. Make it a bit bigger. Just give me some wireframe here. You can also, of course, press NB or NA to go back, NB to have the lines again. Perfect. And I would say we go up to here. And I think we just need one segment there. Press C, grab the, grab the line here, the edge, and just put it up. And now click this one, press MS to get the beveling, and just drag it. And I think we want to have some subdivisions here. So give it something like 30, I don't know. I'll just make this one huge. I think I like that one. Okay, perfect. So let's continue with the soft bodies. I think we can just grab a sphere here, put it inside of it. And now I can see the subdivisions. I think I don't want to have it as standard. Let me just see how hectagon is looking. Hexahedron, icosahedron. I'm not sure. Let me just see. Yes, I think icosahedron works the best here. So this looks good. Okay, and now let's just quickly, I mean, we could also go to make it a little bit smaller. Let's see, when we grab a cloner here, put the sphere inside of it, and now set this one to a grid, put a grid up here, put it to 3 by 3, okay, make it smaller, somewhere around here. Now I can see they are just a bit too big. Put it to 40, put it to 50, and now we could give it some random in the Oh, is it connected? No, I'm sorry. Put it in there. Random effector, get rid of the position and go into the scaling and just give it scale differences here, variations. All right, I think I just push it further. And I think I also want to give the cloner something like push apart. Where is it? Here. Okay. We don't want to push it so far apart. Give it a radius of 30. Oh, that's too much. Somewhere around there. Okay. So now I can see some of them are outside of my cage. That's not good. So why don't we just scale it down a little bit? Scale the spheres down. Also scale down the push apart. That looks good. Okay, perfect. And I think that's a good start here. So I think I just want to press C on this one and now give it some hard manual work. So let's adjust these little bad boys. I take them out of the cloner null here. And now I just want to give them some variations. This one could be bigger. Okay, perfect. This one, I just want to have it up here. Make this one also bigger. Okay, that looks good. They are really too small for my liking. So put it up here. Okay, make it even bigger. Somewhere around there. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Maybe I will just get rid of a couple of these ones. Grab one of them and make a huge one here. So this is just some variations I want to have it to be. I just want it to be visually interesting, and I think a really fat guy here, oh, I'm sorry for the wording, a really big ball, sphere, you know what I mean. That could be good. Okay, now it is penetrating through the cage. This looks better. I think I will also make this one a bit bigger. Somewhere around there. Okay, let me just quickly get rid of this in the viewport and check my viewing angles. So I hold down, I press F2 for the top view so I can see they are all inside of the cage. Go to the right with the F3 key and I can see this is also good. And for the front view, I hold down F4 and I can see all of these spheres are perfectly trapped inside of the cage. That's great. All right, so far so good, but we want to give them soft body behavior. So therefore I would say we just grab all the spheres, hold down Alt G, put it into a null and now right click on it, give it some soft body tag. Perfect. Let's see what is happening now. So you can see my CPU is really slow. It's a slow simulation, but you can see they fall down in a perfectly soft body behavior. So I also like how they are getting soft here. Yes, that's beautiful. But we want to have them like going crazy inside of their cage. And therefore, I just like to get this window here, type in turbulence and grab a turbulence effector. So these effectors, they work in conjunction with your soft bodies. So I think you just have to go to the forces included. Okay, so they are automatically included, but you can exclude forces when you just drag it into here. But we don't want to do that. So let's see. When I give it a strength and a scale of 100, let's see which effect we will get here. And to get a bit of a better performance, I just say they have only 10 segments. So this is pretty low, but it will help me to just see if the turbulence is working. Okay, so yes, there is a little bit of turbulence behavior, but I think we need to get it stronger. So put it to 150 and let's see. Okay, so this is more interesting. I think the scale is also too big, so let's put it to 50. Let's put it to 30. Let's put the strength to 300. Wow, they are still pretty weak. Okay, let's put the strength to 600. Wow, put it to 1200. Okay, so this is getting better here. I think this... Okay, so I wasn't expecting that I need such a big strength here. So yes, this obviously depends on your scene scale. At least I think. I think this is a good number. Let's put it to 2000 and let's see how this is looking. All right, I think the frequency is just a bit too big. And let me just quickly bake them and let's see how it is looking with 30 frames per second so I can better say if it looks good or bad. Let's just bake all of them. All right, I just baked them and now you can see, wow, this looks a little bit too hectic for me. So they are really going crazy. Let's say, let me just hold down Control D and let me check the gravity here. So I think we don't need such crazy numbers if we just get rid of the gravity. Or just put it back to something like 100, like a tenth of the original scale here. So let's try this one and let's just clear our cache, go to the turbulence and put this one to maybe 500. Let me check it. Okay, this is way more graceful. Oh, I like it. I think I go down with the frequency and put the scale up just a bit. These numbers, they look beautiful. So let me just bake them and see if, if it really looks beautiful. All right, let's check it. Okay, this is way better. I really like it. I like it. Okay, let me see it from another angle. Yes. Okay, cool. Maybe we want to change it just a little bit. So this is a good start here. But for now, let's give them just a bit more of segments. Let's say put it up to 20 or let's put it to 18 just to get a bit more detail. Okay. And now let's clear the cache, go to the turbulence, and I think, let me think about what we can, let me think about how we can make it even better. So I think we go into the soft bodies and we just change these parameters just a little bit. So I think we want to have them even softer. Therefore, let's just decrease the power of these springs. Okay, so we decrease structural, shear, and flexion. These three numbers, they are holding our object together. Let's say it like that. So if we get rid of structure just a little bit, then it will become more soft. Okay, let's put this one to maybe a third. Let's make this also with strength, with shear and flexion. Let's see. You can already see in these ones they get super soft here. So let me just make a preview, bake them, and let's see how this is looking. Okay, so now we introduced some problems. Okay, so now they are quite soft and I think I like it, how it is stretching, but we get little arrows here. So you can see the soft bodies don't work perfectly and you can use this as an effect, okay? But to be honest with you, it's an error. So if you hold down Control D and go to your dynamics, go to the export tab, it has to do with the steps per frame and also the maximum solver iterations per step. Most of the time it just helps when you increase this one. So let's see if 10 steps are enough per frame to calculate this one better. So let me just clear it and bake it again. All right, let's see. So the baking time went up just a little bit. So maybe it doubled, to be honest. So it just has to calculate more frames, more sub steps. But now you can see the simulation is rock solid. So this is beautiful. And look how these little bad boys here, they really go crazy. So this one, also this one. I like it. I like it. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I think this is already a really nice simulation. We forgot one major thing. So I think there is way too much space in this cage, okay? So much empty space, and therefore we should go, so clear all the cache, go to your soft bodies, and I think we want to inflate them. So they should get bigger like a balloon that is really tight in here, and there is so much more stretching and interesting behavior. So why don't we change that? Go into your tag, and the most important value would be pressure, okay? So we want to inflate them like a balloon. They have pressure inside of them. So let's put this one maybe to 20. Let's see. Yes, that is awesome. Okay, so they get way bigger, but I think they can get even bigger here. So let's inflate them more. Let's put it to 40. Let's see. Yes, that that is awesome, but I think there is still too much space in it. So put it up to 60. Okay, let's really crank these numbers. Put it to 60. Okay, that is better. That is better. So let me see. So it is getting really tight inside of this little prison here. So sorry for these little spheres. I'm sorry. Now it gets a bit static inside of it. So they are really fighting hard inside of it. So I guess we need to get into the turbulence and put this one higher. So put it to 1000, and the scale, I just put it down and change the frequency. Let's see. Okay, so I just need to make a preview here to say if this is good or bad. Let me bake it. All right, it is baked, and I'm excited how this is looking. So let's see. Oh, okay. This is this is not what I expected. So it is too static. I'm disappointed, to be honest. So there is not so much happening inside of it. I think it is just too tight in there. So let's see. I mean, no, this is not good. So let's clear the cache, go inside of it again. And I think we also want to decrease the structure, the shear and the flexion even more, so they are even more soft, okay? Okay, and I think we just need to change the pressure a little bit. So put it down to 45. Let's see. Maybe we also make a couple of them just a bit smaller. Something around there, okay. And let me see. No, no, no. This is still too much pressure. I mean, this looks beautiful. So when I put it into a soft body, sorry, when I put it into a subdivision surface, go into this mode, this is already a beautiful visual image here. So this is looking cool, but it is too dense. Okay, so let me just say the pressure is around 20. Let's see. Still, they get pretty big here. So let's make a couple of them smaller. So let's say this one is really small, and I think this could be better. Okay, I think this will be better, but also the turbulence can be bigger. So put the frequency to 100. The scale, so this is the scale of your noise field. I think it can be just a bit bigger, and put the strength to 1500 maybe. And let's give it one more test here. So bake it. All right, let's check it. Okay, so we are getting closer. So, I mean, this is a bit hectic. So it is looking cool to be, okay. So, all right. So I think it really looks beautiful. This is, that's a nice animation. One last thing to tweak. So this is just a process. You change your attributes and check how it is looking. I think the pressure can be a bit higher. Put it to 30. And the turbulence, I will change the frequency. I think this is just how fast it is changing. Put this one to 60. Let's give it one more try, and I think then we are there. Bake it. Okay, maybe we just activate the subdivision surface and look on it like this. Okay. So this one is crazy. Wow. Okay, I think, let me just check another angle. I think this is looking super cool. So yes, maybe I just want to try one thing. So the noise, so the behavior is overall a little bit small. So maybe I just want to give it some bigger movement, like something like this and pushing it down overall. So I think, yeah, I mean, this is really, that's great stuff, but I just want to test if I can. Let me see. When I duplicate the turbulence and give it a bigger noise field, let's say this one is 200. I just want to test this. I'm not sure if this is working at all. Give it less frequency, but maybe this is like acting like a bigger noise and will give it some overall bigger movement. Okay, let me just try this. So this is just turbulence big. Okay, perfect. Let's kill the cache once more. And I think we can make the simulation a little bit bigger, a little bit faster if we go into our soft body and go to, let me see, I think self collisions. I think we don't really need them. So the bodies, they don't need to self collide because they have internal pressure. I don't think they will need self collisions. So that this side of it, of one sphere, will have self collisions with the other parts of it. So I think when we deactivate this one, our simulation should be faster. So let's get rid of self collisions and also go to your soft body. And I think we also don't need the accurate solver. So this is set on by default, but I think we don't need it. And this will also make your simulation faster. So let's just cache it once more. Alright guys, so I think I finally found my settings. I just needed to play a little bit more with it. So I got rid of the turbulence big. I think the turbulence just look better with one turbulence field. And you just can see in my soft body tag, I just put these numbers like this. And the pressure, I put it to 37. It seems a bit arbitrary. 40 would also be okay, or 30 or whatever. I just went for this number. Okay, cool. Plus, I decided to go to Control D. The substeps, I increased them to 8. And that's why, for example, this one is getting out of the cage, but I think I just like it. So this is just a funny detail. When you put it higher, then you won't have issues like that. But I thought this is a cool detail. Plus, I went to the General tab to Gravity, and I thought I just wanted to play with it. So I set the gravity up to frame 60 to 0, and then I put it up to frame 70 to 1500. Overall, the effect is not so strong, but you can see from here to there, they fall down just a little bit. So I thought this could be cool, but honestly, yeah, you don't need to do it. And if you want to have a more impactful result, you should take this one even higher or get rid of the turbulence at this point of your animation. Then everything would fall down, and this could also be quite beautiful. Actually, I think I will make one more version where I get rid of the turbulence here, and then everything will fall down and just lay on the floor. So I think this would be a cool ending for our animation. So let me just quickly try this, but first I will show you my results. So I think I just like the speed and the feeling of it. So this is also so funny. Okay, cool stuff. Let me just quickly try if I can make them fall down and then just lay on the floor in a relaxing position. And I think to do that, I just give my animation a couple more frames here, and I go to frame 60 where I play with the gravity, and I just go to my turbulence. And I think the strength, we just put it down from 1300 to 0. Let me just see if this is interesting or just a stupid idea. Let me check it. All right, so one more version here. Let's see. So this is beautiful. All of it is working great. And you can see from here on, we just decrease the gravity and they will fall down into a relaxing position. Beautiful. I mean, there's always something to improve, right? So I just would love to see that they are really stretched, no, not stretched, that they are really squashed down here, like a lot of pressure from the gravity. You could do that if you go to your gravity, so Control D, and maybe just put it up to 15,000. I'm really curious how that would look, so maybe, come on, let me just see how this is looking. So put this one up to 10,000 and give it one more try, okay? All right, so I think this is the last version here, so let me check it once again. Beautiful, beautiful, and with a okay, the gravity with 10,000 looks ridiculous, right? So yeah, but why don't we just leave it here? So I think all of the frames from up to there, they are completely unnecessary, or I mean, this looks ridiculous. Let's see. Okay, maybe we just keep it. I mean, it looks interesting, but yeah, okay, let's just keep it. It's an interesting animation here. So, of course, you can just play with your values like you prefer it. You don't have to do something like that. But now I think we have our beautiful soft bodies. They work in our system. And now we just make it beautiful, right? Okay, so see you next. All right, guys. So in part 2, we will make this one beautiful. So build everything around it, make these beautiful elements, the materials, the textures, the lighting, basically all the creative decisions to turn this one into eye candy. I think I already gave you some beautiful tips and tricks here to work with soft bodies. Part 2 will be on Patreon. I need to live from something, you know. And if you are excited to make it beautiful, so you can see we will make textures, light, and all the good stuff. I think I also can show you the result once more. So yes, I think it looks quite pleasing for the eye. Yes, and if you want to know it, be sure to become a Patreon, just if you want to. I mean, maybe it's something for you, tutorial enthusiast. I also made the icon with this rendering, so yes, maybe this is something for you. And thank you so much on YouTube for listening, and I hope you learned something new. See you next time, guys. Goodbye.